thinking about buying a home. How do I know if there have been insurance claims made against it? Hey everyone, this is Cheryl Morrison, your local Chicagoland real estate attorney, and today let's talk about insuring your potential new home. So if you are thinking about buying a home, you might be curious about whether or not there have been claims made against its insurance policies. And you might be wondering for a number of different reasons. First off, the potential for future problems. Say, for instance, this property that you're interested in is in a flood zone and you're required to carry flood insurance. Well, if there have been claims against it, perhaps in the last 10 years, there have been a couple claims made against it. You know, in that instance, that it is fairly likely that you are going to have continuing problems with flooding, maybe not in the next few years, but certainly down the road, that possibility is there, and it will let you decide better whether or not that's a risk that you want to take, and if nothing else, so that you can plan better for that eventuality. Perhaps you do something to mitigate that risk as far as changing the outside of the home. Perhaps you decide to, keep your belongings up off the floor in the basement, whatever you have, whatever you decide to do. At least with that information, you are better prepared to mitigate that risk. Likewise, if there have been claims made for whatever reason, let's say there was a roof issue, you can better make sure that those fixes were made appropriately. Perhaps in that instance, knowing that that's happened, you ask whether or not they have any receipts or any warranties to go along with that work, so that you are assured that the work was done properly and that if there are any warranties, that they'll carry over to you. Likewise, again, if not, then you can plan appropriately for that risk, or if it's a deal breaker for you, you know before it's too late. And then finally, when there are lots of claims made against a home, it drives up future insurance rates. So even though you weren't the homeowner that made those claims, when you call to try to get a homeowner's insurance policy, the insurance company consults a database that looks at all the different claims that have been made on the property, and they use that to guide them in giving you a rate for your insurance. So if lots of claims have been made, it's going to be more expensive for you to insure this house. And again, this is really important information for you to have, because if those rates are elevated, you just want to make sure that you budget for that properly, but it also could affect your approval for a loan. If, for instance, it's much more expensive to insure the property and you are right at the cusp of your ratios to get approved, it might bump you up, and that would be a problem. We want to know sooner than later, so that you don't waste costs and end up unhappy, and we definitely don't want any of that to happen. So how can you get this information as a home buyer? First off, you can ask the sellers for it. Routinely, people will ask during their attorney review period if any claims have been made against the homeowner's insurance policy. If there's a flood policy, you can ask for that too. Likewise, you can get a quote right away. Now, under the current contract that is in use in most instances around here, it gives you up until right before the closing to get a flood insurance quote, and you've got a little bit of time to get that homeowner's insurance quote. It's common for some attorneys to ask to extend that one up until the near the closing as well, to give you more time to get that homeowner's insurance quote. But I think it's to everybody's best interest for you to do that right away. You don't want to pay for an appraisal, you don't want to pay for a home inspection, you don't want to pay any other lender's costs, or make plans to move if you find out that that rate is too high for you and it's a deal breaker. So get that quote right away. It's only for your benefit. And then finally, you want to make sure that you get a home inspection. A good home inspector is going to go through the home with a fine-tooth comb. If they see any evidence of past water damage, they're going to let you know. If they see any roof damage or damage with the mechanicals or anything else, they're going to let you know that. If for some reason there's a question about something, we can ask for that. We can ask for additional inspections, perhaps a roof inspection done specifically by a roof contractor, or anything else that comes up, so that you have some assurances that, things are in good working order. If something isn't, we know what the potential costs are for that and a time frame for when it's likely going to need to be fixed, so that you are really well prepared to make good decisions on whether or not to go forward with the purchase of this home. So I hope that that's been helpful for you. If it has, definitely let me know. If you have any other questions about this process, feel free to drop that in the comments below or message me. That's what I'm here for. And if you're buying or selling a home, please reach out to me. I would love to help you through that process and make it a little bit easier for you. Thanks everyone. Bye.